All right, so we have seen list comprehension with the conditions. In this video, we'll do the same thing, condition, but we'll be building using a user-defined function. So let me comment out this one. I'm going to take this numbers list. So remember, we have the three things: action, source, and the condition. So here, first is the action, second is the source, and then the condition. Okay, so we have numbers, and if I say new numbers, then I'll do the source, that is data is coming from numbers. So for number in numbers, and here we can say something like if number, if type of number is float, then we are looking for the number. Okay, so this is our source, this is our condition, and this is our number. So we are just checking if the number is float. None of these numbers are float, so we will not get anything. Blank. Now if I change this to, or if I add a new number, we have this number. Great. And also we can use the built-in function. So if I say float number and run this, so now all the elements of this list numbers are float. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so the way we use this built-in function, we can also use a user-defined function. So I'll remove this for now, or let it be here. Let me create a new function, and we'll say multiply by 10. We'll pass number, and here we are going to say return number multiply by 10. Okay, this is a common function we can build in Python. Now we are going to use this function here. So suppose if we want to apply this multiply 10 on this list, everything on this list. So here we can do one thing. I'll remove this, create a empty list, and then how do we do it? We say for number in numbers, and then we say new numbers dot append, and we'll call the function that is multiply by 10, and it will pass number. Fine. If I run this, we get this result. So what we are doing is we are looping over this list numbers here. Let me make some space. And then we are using this function we have created. It's a user-defined function. We have done this. And then here we are just appending these numbers in a new list. And then on each of these number from the list, we are applying this multiply by 10 function. It is a user-defined function. Great. Now we can do the same thing with the list comprehension. So I'll remove this now. And then here, again, we have to find the source. So source is for number in numbers. And then what we want to do is we want to multiply by 10. So we do not have any condition here. We only have an action, and that is using the multiply 10 on the number. So this is our source for number in numbers, and this is the action where we are using this function. and now I'm just printing the new numbers. If I do this, I get the result, same as the last one. So all the elements of the numbers are now multiplied by 10. Okay. Suppose we want to put a condition here. Let's do a condition. So if I say if the number is greater than or less than 30, if I run this, we get 102. Okay, so we have this list here. Now we can do the same condition here also. If I say something like this, and number, this would work. Okay, so that's how we use the user-defined function in a list comprehension. And fine, I'll remove this from here and put it here. Okay, so let's move ahead and we'll do a complete program now. So in this one, what we're going to do is we would check the email. Check for valid email. It's a simple program. So what we do is we say create a function first, def, and say valid email. Here we take our email, and now we are going to check a few conditions. So return email if at the rate in email and .com in email, else say invalid email. Okay, so we have this function where we are saying return the email if at the rate is in email and .com is in the email, else say invalid email. So let's say if I call a function this valid email and we say something like text said, and if I run this, I'll comment this one. So we get invalid email. Right? This is a very simple program, not a serious one. Now if I say at the rate gmails.com, we get the correct email. Okay, so this is working. Now let's suppose we have a list of emails. Let's call this user emails here, and in the list we say Adam Jampa at the rate gmail.com. Then we say Virat 1, and we say 1, 2, 3, something like this. Another we would say India at the rate email.com. We say something like max dot fury dot road. And if I say something like sid at the rate gmail.in, let's suppose. Okay, so we have these emails here. And now what we are going to do is I'll remove this one. This is the function we have, and these are the user emails. So let's suppose now we have to create a list comprehension here. So we call this check valid emails. Okay, first thing is email in user's email, and let's simply print all the emails. Print check valid emails, and if I say run this, we have all the emails. Okay, now we are going to use this valid email function here on the email. So if I say valid email and then email, and if we run this, so we have the email and then we have invalid email. Again, we have an email, invalid and invalid. Okay, and we can do different things by this. So this is the whole program. We have a function, a user-defined function here, checking for the emails. And then we have a list of emails, user emails, and then we are just checking using the list comprehension if the email is correct or not. Okay, again, we can do a lot of things here. Like again, you can put a condition here if you want, but we already have a condition here. And that's why we have created this function. So that is how we use the user-defined function in the with the list comprehension. Thank you.